encyclopedia of enthusiasm, this is but a page, a simple change, on a contraption of limited range, a wave blowing across the sea, hoping to be a leaf on the great tree, the tree of voice. It comes to us without choice. It moves through the envelope, the antidote, the medicine man, the medicine woman, the wild channels of the river in the swamp. We go forward, not knowing about bomp and clomp and lomp. We go into the earth. There the bears live. They walk around with rivers. They do not have fins. On my shins, I feel it. These are the losses. These are the wins. Failure is the house of the impossible. I live there, walking around in my weavery cloak of things unseen. What can't be been, what can't be seen. The cloth goes into the ream, and then backwards we fly. We are birds. We are birds flying. Below us there is the city of Troy, 1,000 lights. Outside it an army sparkling like stars in the night sky. We are going to try. We are going to sigh. We are going to say, oh my, look at this. We look over there. There's a sea. There's an ocean. There's another land. In the desert there is a tent. There is a woman speaking inside that tent. Inside her story, there's a man making a woman out of stone. He has fallen in love with that statue. Aphrodite has given it life. They live together. They are happy. Then they die. This story lives inside the song of a singer named Orpheus. It enrages the wild, drunken women who hear it. They tear him to pieces. His head flows out to sea. I am money, I am feeling funny, I am not in the sunny side of it. Down in the darkness we go, back where the night is, back where the biz is, the biz of the buzz of the bees that sing chambers of money out into the hives. Honey is money, it is love, it is a sweet sauce, giving us a place where we can be on, where we can be off like light switches glowing in the dark. Nonsense sings inside the mask. Behind the green mask there is a blue mask, there is a man made of straw, there is a woman made of clay. There is a small boy made of hair. Inside the small boy made of hair, there is dust from the stars. I'm sick of this voice. I'm sick of this choice. Let us go down. Let us look. There is a forest. In that forest, there is more and more of us. In that forest, there are trees. There is darkness. In the desert there are 1,000 grains of sand, each one with a riddle in its heart, hoping to be the start of a new world. A girl, a flag unfurled. In the desert there is sand and the wind blows. It knows, it finds the place where it will flow, for it is river, it is long body of this world. Wolves live within it, wolf-like wind blowing, and it blows against the castle, and it blows against the trees of the royal garden. And it blows, rippling through the leaves of the pear tree, the blossoming pear tree. It blows as the sun goes down. It blows as the birds find their nests there in the trees beside the river. It blows overhead, over the rooms of that palace. And in one of those rooms there is a carpet, a movable world. And in that room there is a bed, a large bed. And in that bed there is a king. And beside him in that bed is a woman. Her name is Scheherazade. See the ring on her finger. See the earring in her ear. See the fire in her eyes. See the worlds that open when she speaks. It has reached my ears, O king, that there was once a fisherman whose habit it was to go to the sea each day and cast his net 4 times into that sea. So on a day like any other, he walked to the shore, walked away from his house, the house he shared with his wife and his 2 children, walked through the streets of the town, the streets becoming sandier, more filled with the taste of salt in the air as he approached. And then the gulls. He heard the sound of the seagulls, that old familiar sound. Shoulders of the great body that is the ocean, that is this wild and changing world that is the sea. And with his net in his hands, he came to that shore, and he walked out into the waves. And then he cast that net into the waves. He waited some time for the waves and the current to do their work. And then he pulled on that net. He pulled and pulled, but it was heavy. There was something inside. What was it? Perhaps a great load of fish. Perhaps one of the schools of silvery fish had come in close to the shore. Unusual, but possible. Driven by a storm out at sea. Perhaps such a thing had happened. He pulled again. It was too heavy to move. Wondering now, he dove down beneath the surface of the waves. He swam to the net, and he saw that in that net there was a dead donkey. Ooh, failure, bitterness. The sour teeth of the day biting his hopes, his needs. It took him a long time, but he cut that donkey free of that net. The donkey drifted away. He kicked it out into the current. The ocean took it back into itself, back into itself. And then he repaired his net quickly, for he was skilled at this. And then he walked out into the waves, up to his waist, walking further out this time. And he threw the net out into the sea. Landed there. And again he waited, for patience is a tool of the fisherman. And when the waves and the current had done their work, again he pulled on his net, and again he found it to be filled with something. Again it was too hard to move. He dove down to look. He found his net was filled with broken bottles and broken dishes. People have no respect for the sea, he said to himself. No respect. But he cleaned that net out, repaired it, gathered it in his arms, and walked further down the shore, out where a spit of land reaches out into the sea. And he walked out there, and there for the third time he cast his net. And he waited some time for the waves and the current to do their work. And then he pulled on that net, and he found it once again to be filled with something. Emptiness is not my share of the world today, he thought. At any rate, by Allah, there is something in this net. He pulled, and he found in his net there was a clay jar. Clay jar. Well, maybe there's something in it, he thought. He rolled it out of the sea. He stood it up on the sand. The clay jar was not worth much, but perhaps there was something inside. Honey, gold pieces, something valuable. He took his knife, and he pried the top of that jar away. And he looked inside, and he found that that jar was empty. Nothing inside. Just clay, he thought. Give it back to the earth. Give it back to the earth. Well, it had been a long day already. The sun, in fact, inclining towards the horizon. But he needed food. He needed fish to sell in the market, so his family would have food to eat. So, he did not go home. He did not stop. Like the bud coming out on the tree, like the sprout coming out of the earth, like the bird insistent in its song, like the wind blowing over the desert, he was determined. He gathered up his net, he walked further out into the sea, and he cast it into the waves. And as it rode the waves, as it sat in the ocean currents, he spoke aloud a great prayer. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Arabil Alamin. Maligion Medini Yakana Abdua Yakanastain. Ichtina Surat al Mustakin, Surat al Adina Alayhim, Garil Magdubi Alayhim, Waladolin. Amen. Allah, ruler of the three worlds, please grant my prayer, grant my wishes. Please, you are generous. The waves of the sea are your generosity, and the stars of the night sky, all the grains of sand on the shore. I see the great gifts you give to us. I have been faithful. I come every day. I have been determined, repeating myself as these waves repeat, laughing and collapsing into the sand. I have come always to this spot. Each day I throw out my net. Please, dear one, who loves us with your violence and your hatred, who loves us with the rain and the bitter storms and the sicknesses, as well as the medicine and the gold and the chocolate and the good things and the love and the laughter. Oh Allah, please, hear my prayer. May there be something in this net, something of use to me and my family, that we may persist in this world, that we may live and love and laugh for another day. So he prayed as the gulls wheeled and soared above him, as the waves crashed and collapsed into the sand. And after the waves and the current had done their work, he took hold of that net, and he began to pull on that net, but it was very heavy. Oh, not another dead donkey, he thought. No, no, he thought, backing away from that thought, please. And he thought of roses and of opening, and of blank paper and the silence before the singer begins the song. May this emptiness be filled, he thought. May it be filled. Inshallah, 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 may it be so. And he pulled on that net again, and it was heavy. So he swam down beneath the surface of the waves, and he looked in that net, and he saw that in that net there was a jar, a brass jar. This was of more value than a clay jar. Relief flooded him a little bit. I can go to the market. I can sell this jar. There will be money for my family, he thought to himself. We can buy some bread, some cheese, a few things. He rolled the jar out of the sea, covered in barnacles as it was. He set it up on the sand. At least I have a jar, he thought. But perhaps there's something in the jar. So he took his knife, and saying a prayer, he pried open the top of that jar. The top came off. He looked inside. The jar was empty. Well, at least it's a jar, he thought, and he sat down in the sand to rest. But as he sat there, something began to change in his world. Something happened which had never happened before. Green smoke began to come out of the top of the jar, curling out. He thought he was imagining it at first. It came down the side, sinuous, snake-like, whispering down and around the jar. It curled around the jar several times and then rose up into the air. More and more of it came out. A fire in the jar, he thought at first. But there was no fire he could see. This was something else. This was a smoke that came from no fire, a smoke that was only itself, rising and rising, making a great cloud in the sky above the jar. And as he looked, he began to see shapes in that cloud. A horse, a house, a great fish, a harp, a bear, perhaps a man. He saw shoulders, knees. He saw feet, and suddenly there was a Djinn there, a being of fire and of air, large, immense, with glowing golden eyes. And it looked upon him and it said, "Fisherman, fisherman, today you have found luck in this world. Today you are a lucky man." Ah, wonderful, thought the fisherman. This is a Djinn, a Djinn, a genie, a Djinn. Who will grant me wishes? Magical things will come of this, magical things. He began to contemplate the wishes he would employ, he would give to this genie, the wishes, things he would ask for. A more beautiful house, Gold and money, certainly. Love, long life, health for his entire family. What would he hope for? And the genie said, "This is your lucky day, fisherman. For on this day, I am going to kill you, and you get to choose how it is to be done." "What?" said the fisherman. "You're going to kill me? No. You were supposed to give me beautiful things, magic. Beautiful wishes will be mine." "No," said the genie. "That's not how it goes." "No," said the Djinn, flickering like a black fire suddenly, becoming a raven of ice, a raven, a dark spot, a flickering flame only. When he spoke, the flame shook, black flame that it was. And then again he took the shape of this large genie, made of green smoke, with golden eyes. And he said, "I've been in this jar a long, long time. I was imprisoned here by King Solomon, he who commands the birds and knows the speech of the animals. He fought with the genies, with the Djinn, the beings of fire and air, and we fought with him. A long battle, a great war. Much of this earth was devastated by the spells cast back and forth. But in the end, Solomon conquered us. He put us in these jars, imprisoned us, threw us into the sea. I rolled around the floor of the sea, tumbling, for hundreds of years. 500 years went by. I hoped that someone like yourself would find me and release me into the air. But no one came. Only silence. Only the immense dark silence of the bottom of the sea. And I said to myself, if somebody finds me, I will grant them 3 wishes, for I will be filled with joy. But another 500 years went by, and no one found me. I became angrier. I nursed my anger like a red weed inside myself. It grew larger. It grew into a great tree. And I said, now, if anybody finds me, I will grant them 1 wish only. I have little generosity left. Another 500 years went by. Still I rolled along the bottom of the sea. No one found me. Nothing. You would think the world had many possibilities in it. You would think somehow a current, a wave, a storm. In so much time, you would think I would be carried, washed to the shore, to be found by a glad group of children, perhaps. I would amuse them with games. I would make toys for them. I would go away into the beautiful sky, free. That did not happen. No wizard of the humans found me, called me to him. I was forgotten, alone. Like laughter without a body, laughter from the dead. Like a cobweb with no house, like a shadow with no man to cast it. Like an hour empty of all clocks I was, old bone at the bottom of the sea, forgotten, ignored by all the worlds. And I said to myself, if somebody finds me now, I will simply release my anger. I will kill them right away. For I care nothing for this world and the people in it. All I know is my anger at Solomon, and I will release it to whoever finds me. And that will feel good, and that will feel right. And so you have found me, fisherman, and so you are the one. And so I will crush you, I will smother you, I will hang you, I will burn you, I will freeze you into ice so you shatter at a touch. I will fill you with sickness. I will have you devoured by wild pigs. There are so many ways, so many delightful ways, so many shapes my anger can take. Choose one. Most humans do not get to choose, but you get to choose. Find your way. Tell me what it is. No, said the fisherman. No, I don't want to choose. I don't want to die. I was kind to you. I let you out of your jar. So you should be kind to me in return. This is the way the world works. Kindness answers kindness, and hate answers hate. When we are kind to the world, we receive kindness in return. That is the law. the law that shines down upon us, blessed by Allah, ruler of the three worlds. Please, genie, do not kill me. Be kind to me, and live in harmony with this law which governs all of creation. Don't speak to me of laws, said the Djinn. Do not speak to me of Allah. Allah has forsaken me. The laws have forsaken me. Where was kindness when I was washed along the floor of the sea? Where was kindness when I knew nothing but zero and emptiness? The dark nothing in which I slept for 1,000 years, hoping for dreams that never came. This world is cruel. I will be a part of this cruelty, and so act in accordance, in harmony with the rulers of the world. I will be cruel to you. Choose. I can't choose. No, I don't want to choose. Choose, said the Djinn. Choose. I will not, said the fisherman. And just like that, the genie said, well, then, I will kill you now. Kill you straight out here. I am tired of waiting, tired of your small brain deciding things. And the Djinn took hold of the fisherman and pressed him down into the sand. And out came this great sword of the Djinn, smashing the sky, so it seemed to do, sparkling in the sun. Brighter than anything in the sky, than the stars, he held the sword up high, and he prepared to kill the fisherman. Today is the last day of your life, fisherman. Prepare to die. But it was in this moment that sunlight came in through the windows of the royal palace, and Scheherazade stopped speaking. And her sister Dunyazad, who was in the room, said, "My sister, what a marvelous story." "Yes," said Scheherazade. "And if the king allows me to live, I will tell you the rest of the story of the fisherman and the Djinn." "May it be so," said Dunyazad. And the king said, "Well, we shall see. For you should know, this king had nursed a hard grievance against females of all kinds. And this was difficult, for he desired them as well. Betrayed by his first wife, he had had her and her lover killed, but now anger lived in him like a dark fire. And he had resolved to marry a new serving girl every day and to kill her the next morning, in this way to ensure that she did not betray him as his wife had. He had been hurt, and this is what his hurt had become. This is the iron flower that had blossomed out of his pain and his sorrow. So he said, "We shall see. We shall see, my wife, we shall see." Well, the day went on. They slept a little more until the sun rose higher in the sky. And then they went off to live their lives. And the king had meetings with his ministers, and he gave commands that day to buy a certain horse, to send a message to a certain king in a distant kingdom. But no order that he gave called for the death of Scheherazade. And that day she walked in the palace garden, reflecting on the words she had spoken in the night. And then dusk came, and she and the king ate together. And when the time was right, they went to the royal bedroom and spent some time there, perhaps in the delights of love, perhaps not. For these things blow as the wind blows. But when the time was right, she said to the king, "Please, may I see my dear sister Dunyazad one last time before I am killed tomorrow at dawn?" "All right," said the king. "You may see her." And Dunyazad was called for, and she embraced her sister, and they cried tears of joy. And then Dunyazad said, "Oh, my sister, if you are not sleepy. Oh, my sister, if you are not sleepy. Oh, my sister, if you are not sleepy. Please tell us the rest of the story of the fisherman and the Djinn. Yes, yes, said the king. Please do. It has reached my ears, O king. It has reached my ears that when the Djinn had the fisherman down in the sand, when the knife was high up in the air, sparkling, shining, and he said, "Today's the last day of your life. Prepare to die, fisherman." The fisherman said, "Please, please, O Djinn of the other world, O being of fire and air, please, answer one question for me." "One question," said the Djinn. "One question. As narrow as light passing beneath a door. I give you this. I am not without generosity. I will answer your one question." "Tell me," said the fisherman. "Tell me, O Djinn of the unseen world, how did you fit into the jar?" "What?" said the Djinn. "How did you fit into the jar?" said the fisherman. "I can change my shape," said the Djinn. "I can go around this world in an instant. I can become a silver needle or a lock of hair. I can speak to the crabs in the depths of the ocean. I can make a black pillar appear in the center of your village. I can become a swan. I can become a word in the mouth of an ancient bard, a pomegranate, a fish, a wolf. I can do many things. Do not doubt my powers. I can fit in that jar." "I don't believe you," said the fisherman. "I do not believe you. I have seen your size. I have seen that you were in the jar. But perhaps it was only the magic of Solomon which allowed that to happen. Perhaps now you are helpless. How do I know that he has not stripped you of your powers, sequestered you in that brass jar to live out your days? I don't think it was of your power. I don't think you can get back into that jar. It is not possible." "But it is," said the Djinn. "I don't think so," said the fisherman. "But it is," said the Djinn. "I don't think so," said the fisherman. "I will show you," said the Djinn. And like that, there was a sudden crack of thunder in the sky. Bam! And suddenly he turned into a lion, and then a swan, and then a beaver with golden teeth, and then a fly, and then he buzzed down into that jar. Shoom! And all the green smoke followed him, and the lid was swept up and whirling in the air, and it landed on top of that jar. And as it did so, the fisherman leapt forward, and he pounded upon that lid, hammering it down into that jar, making it solid and secure, and he said, "Okay, Genie, I believe you now. I believe you." "So you see," said the Djinn. "So you see I am clever. So you see I am wise. I am capable of all things." "I see that," said the fisherman. "I see that." And he tipped the jar over and began to roll it towards the sea. "What are you doing?" said the Djinn. "What are you doing?" "I'm putting you back in the sea," said the fisherman. "I'm putting you in the depths of the sea. May the current carry you far out, to the places even the fish have forgotten. May you go down into the very depths you spoke of to me, those bone-quiet silences. May you live there for thousands of years, and if, by chance, you are washed up on this shore, well, I will be here. For I swear to you, I will build a house on this shore, and I will live in that house. And if ever anyone finds you in the sea and pulls your jar out, I will say, 'Do not open that jar. In that jar is an evil Djinn. He has nothing but malice for all of creation. He has disobeyed Allah, and he has been punished, and he is reaping his reward. Do not let him out. He will kill you and many others besides. So there will be no escape for you, O Djinn. So you are going down into the depths, to be locked forever in that great absence.' And he pushed the jar further out into the waves, further and further out. And the Djinn began to speak. 'Please, fisherman, no, do not do this. Have some mercy. Show some kindness.' 'Kindness?' said the fisherman. 'What kindness is left in my pockets? It is like money. I've given it all away. I have no kindness for you. I was kind to you, and you chose to be cruel in return. So we will live by that rule of the world. You showed me the way. You showed me the way. I will be cruel to you. I will send you out into the sea, and you will never be heard from again.' 'Please, no,' said the Djinn. 'Please, no,' pleading now. But the fisherman was enjoying himself. Such power he had not had in a long time. And he said, Djinn, you know, our situation is much like that of the king and the sage. The king and the sage, said the Djinn. What is that story? I do not know that story. You do not know that story, said the fisherman. I thought every school child in this wide land, in Damascus, even in faraway Beijing, had heard this story. You tell me you do not know the story of the king and the sage? I do not, said the Djinn. Well then, said the fisherman, let me tell you the story of the king and the sage. But as the fisherman opened his mouth to speak, sunlight entered the windows of the royal bedroom, and Scheherazade reached the end of her allotted time to tell stories. "Oh, my sister," said Dunyazad, "what a marvelous story." "Yes," said Scheherazade, "and if the king lets me live, tomorrow I will tell you both the story of the king and the sage." "May it be so," said Dunyazad. "We'll see," said the king. So they all slept a bit more, and when the sun rose they went out into the world. And that day the king gave no orders to kill Scheherazade. And they all found that that story lived within them. So that Scheherazade, as she walked in the palace garden, she heard again the voice of the Djinn like a black fire burning out of coal. And Dunyazad, as she cooked an egg for her father, she thought of that net in the sea filled with a dead donkey. And even the king, as he sat in a meeting with all of his ministers, looking at maps and charts, hearing their words about politics, taxation, gold pieces, he found himself standing like that fisherman in the waves, hearing the gulls above him and looking far out across the sea.